Eric! Come on! Eric, get in the car! Come on!
Hello, Beverly Hills Police Emergency.
Yes, police.
I'm sorry, can you speak up, please? Hello? Hello, I can't hear you. Hello? Are you still there?
We're the sons of, Jose and Kitty Menendez. No, Eric, don't! We just came home. We didn't hear anything. Eric, get away from him! Send an ambulance.
Sir, I can't understand you.
Please send an ambulance.
What's the problem, please?
They shot and killed my parents.
Oh my God!
Sir?
I can't believe
Can you repeat that, please?
God.
Hello? Are you still there? Are you okay? Hello? Hello?
Well, after talking to both of them, I mean, both of them.
Yeah, be right with me.
When we got to the movie, we couldn't get in, so we ended up seeing Batman. We should have stayed home.
Where was it playing?
At Century 21. Century 14, Century City.
Who went with you?
My brother. When we got home, the gate was open. We went inside and I started smelling smoke.
Do you have any idea of who might have done this?
No. My family has no enemies. My brother may know.
Were there any other problems at home that we should know about?
My dad's a big executive with live entertainment. He's pretty ruthless. In his business, he deals with a real seedy group. So you know, this might be business related.
Okay, now you boys will be with your grandmother for the rest of the day.
So you've got her number, so if you need us.
Okay.
Thanks again, Detective.
Thanks a lot. Take care of yourselves, guys. Try to get some sleep.
Eric, listen to me. We were just Eric by the cops. Now you want to leave the place? No. Come on, man. Don't you understand? You're wrong.
Can I help you, Mr. Menendez?
Would you mind if we got a few things from my brother's car?
Sure, go ahead.
Hurry up, Lyle.
Thank you.
Take it easy, gentlemen.
Let's see, we've got the Gents Rolex President, that's $11,250. And you want the stainless steel Submariner and the third Rolex.
Oh, and don't forget these money clips.
That's going to be $14,373.53. How would you like to pay for this? Well, it's not every day I get a sale like this.
You have a phone I could use?
Sure.
Hello?
Hey, Uncle Carlos, it's me. I'm over at Monaco's.
The jewelry store.
Yeah, right. Well, I wanted to wear a Rolex to the memorial service, something special.
That's not a good idea, Lyle.
There'll be a lot of important people there.
It's only been 4 days since your folks died. I don't think the relatives will understand.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Hey.
Don't sneak up on me like that.
Relax. Just letting you know that the messenger just brought over our plane tickets.
I'm gonna need a suit bag.
Why don't you use Dad's? Eric?
Man, forget it. I'll buy a new one.
He'd want you to use it. Besides, nobody in New Jersey will recognize it anyway.
I don't see why we can't have the main memorial service here.
Because one in L.A. is for business. Family service has to be back east because that's where they all live.
You just want to go to Princeton to see all your old buddies.
Come on. Dad liked it back there. He loved that campus. Makes sense. Please the family. You understand? Huh?
Guess.
Manhattan shuttle at Terminal 7 has been delayed.
I'm your bodyguard, Richard Winskowski.
How are you?
Hi.
Are you armed?
Always.
Good.
Is the limo bulletproof?
None available. We could have one sent out from New York if you like, but it's going to cost quite a bit extra.
Well, my father's company's paying for it. I'm sure they'd want us to be safe.
We always have a second vehicle and take you out of the area should anything happen.
Great. 'Cause the cops back home think it was a mob hit. We're just a little afraid that they might come after us.
We're taking every precaution, Eric.
They shotgunned him while they were watching TV. I have a letter that means very much to me that I'd like to read from. Dear son, as you know, to me, the family is the most important thing in my life, and I hope it will be in yours. I have total trust in both you and Erik. I encourage you not to select the easy road. The future does not belong just to the brightest, but also to the more determined. I have to get back to work now. It was so typical. Love, Dad.
Lyle and I love you all very much. And we hope you'll be our extended family.
That's Gauss Hall. That's the dorm I lived in. Parties we had there.
Why'd you leave?
It was my freshman year. I got caught cheating on some stupid homework assignment.
They throw you out for that?
Yeah. My father had to drop everything and fly all the way out here to plead my case to the university president.
So, what happened?
He suspended me for a year. He was so upset. Broke down right there in the office. It's the only time in my life I ever saw him cry.
Lyle, good to see you, man. How you been?
Erik, how are you? So how you guys doing?
Hanging in there.
So, the service was really nice. You would have made your folks proud.
Thanks. You know how Dad is with Princeton. He always loved
Mom was
Princeton.
having all these premonitions of danger and stuff. She was obsessed with closing all the doors like someone was gonna come inside and hurt her.
Yeah, she left notes all over the place, talking about her death.
Ah, it must be really creepy to be in that house now. I bet you're in no hurry to go home.
I'm flying back tomorrow.
What? What are you rushing home to? We gotta start thinking about making a fresh start for ourselves, Erik. This is a good place to be for now.
Lyle's right, all your relatives are here.
I don't have to run all the way across the country to clear my head.
He's all right. He's just angry at the world. Nothing makes sense anymore. Last night after the service, I did one of my cousins.
Can I help you?
Carlos Barol.
Hey, Carlos, thanks for coming by so early.
Try to give me a little notice next time, Lyle. Banks aren't open 24 hours.
Listen, I'm thinking about moving back here. Something really liberating about getting away from LA. In fact, later today, I'm looking into some investment property.
Well, as executor of the estate, I'll need to be kept updated.
Who said I couldn't fill my father's shoes?
Make your own tracks in life, Lyle. Don't try to fill his shoes.
You don't understand. These are my father's shoes. Yeah. $64,273. I'll pay cash.
Yes.
Hey, it's me.
Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you all day.
Hey, calm down.
You gotta get home right now.
I don't want to come back to LA. Things are starting to happen for me, Eric.
We got a problem. A really big problem. Get here now.
Any luck?
No. I keep pulling up the same 3 files, but I can't access them. Maybe there isn't a second will.
Then why do the relatives keep snooping around? Even the police are asking questions.
Well, we've always been beneficiaries should anything happen to Mom.
I don't know. I heard Dad talking to Aunt Marta. He said that he wanted to do some restructuring, leave something for Grandma.
No way. Look, if he rewrote the will, it had nothing to do with Grandma, Eric. He was furious I got kicked out of Princeton and you weren't exactly living up to his expectations.
Well, all I know is after what we've been through, I am not walking away from this empty-handed.
Well, then we better get some help.
The files are corrupted. Looks like someone copied them over. Nah, this could take over 24 hours to do a complete search. I don't know if it's worth it.
Look, I don't have to have the data. All right, I just want it off the memory. You see, I'm planning on selling the computer, and I don't want any personal family information on it. Can't you just erase it?
Sure. I do a lot of this for the government and military firms. I'm an expert in erasing.
Great.
We'll have a competition. The winner gets to do anything he wants for the rest of the day. But the loser cannot refuse anything he says.
Not the deep end, Daddy.
Into the water, son.
I don't like deep water, Daddy. Daddy, I don't want to. Please.
Ready, set, go! Come on now, not to the side. Don't swim to me. Eric, come on. Keep your head down. Your brother's winning. Come on, son. Kick harder. Harder.
Daddy, please.
Come on, you can do it. Eric, come on now, harder.
Daddy, help me.
No one's going to help you, Eric.
Daddy, please.
Lyle, he can
Daddy,
make it on his
Daddy.
own. He must learn to do this.
Help. It's gonna be okay, little brother.
Lyle, Detective Zoller just called. He wants us to come down to the police station right away.
Well, they ran a check on him. I think they located him in San Bernardino.
We've been following quite a few leads, but we haven't turned up anything substantial. The brass are still convinced it was a mob hit.
But you're not?
What about my dad's business associates?
Well, we're still checking on those names you gave us, Bruce Fairmont and Alan Coster, and so far there's no reason to suspect either of them.
But you still think it was someone who knew them, right?
No, probably. I mean, it doesn't appear that either one of your parents struggled with their assailants. Oh, by the way, do either of you guys still have the ticket stubs for the movie you saw the night of the murders?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
Yeah, well, we have to look into everything, all sorts of areas. Well, we just wanted to keep you up to date. Now, if you think of anything else, give us a call, okay?
We will. Certainly.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thank you.
See you soon.
We've been calling them for the past 6 weeks to set up this interview. Think they'd at least be on time.
It's been over 40 minutes. I bet they forgot about us.
You think they've waited long enough?
Yeah.
This ought to be interesting.
One of the reasons he bought the house is because of the marble floors. Dad really likes marble.
It's travertine, mostly from Italy.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the job that the police are doing?
If the focus of the Times story is the investigation, really, I want no part of it.
Why is that?
Because I'm tired of reading trash. There are so many rumors, no evidence.
We just want to be left alone. It's time for us to get on with our lives. I want you to be sure you put that in your article. The kitchen has a great view of the back. It's right through here.
Well, you boys must have your own theories about what really happened, huh?
I believe that he died because he wouldn't cooperate with organized crime.
But you're just guessing, right?
Could have been somebody small, whose feelings were hurt along the way, a bad business transaction. Although money is hardly enough to kill over. What you kill over is a personal vendetta. Would you like to continue?
Is that the family room?
Would you like to see it?
Lyle, no. Lyle.
Was it hard for you? After the murders?
I was going through convulsions. We'd never seen our dad helpless before.
Yes, after the initial hysterics, I sort of entered into my dad's mode, sort of an ESP thing. I took over his position in the family. The baton has been passed.
Well, my sorrow is not really for myself. It's for what he would have achieved, like Kennedy or Martin Luther King. My father was a man of great vision. He felt the loss for the country, not just for his immediate family. That's how Lyle and I feel for sure. Tennis courts are great. You want to check them out?
You two boys are facing a whole new world now without the guiding hand of your parents. What are your future plans?
I guess we'll pursue our professional tennis careers, hire a coach, go on tour.
It's going to be a struggle, but maybe in a couple of years you'll be doing an article on us.
No, lower left. No, the other one. That's good.
Good, sir.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Thanks.
I'm proud of you, and I am extremely proud of you. This boy is Princeton material.
Dad.
No. You know, he got his acceptance letter yesterday, just yesterday. You know how hard it is to get into the Ivy League, huh? Oh, no state school for my son. No way, Jose. I will not shortchange this boy's future. Come on in. You know, Lyle, you are following in the tradition of the Menendez men, huh? Your great-great-grandfather attended MIT, and your great-grandfather was professor of medicine at the University of Havana. Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, put him through. Yes, I read it. Not only was it late, but it was sloppy, and it was timidly written. I can't put my name to this garbage. Now, don't challenge me. This company was on the verge of bankruptcy when I came on board. We are now $8 million in the black. I want those revisions on my desk by the end of today, or don't bother coming in tomorrow. You got it? Good. Oh, by the way, give my love to your wife.
If your goals aren't ambitious enough.
They're not worth setting. Oh, you got a good mind for business, Lyle. It's gonna take you places someday.
Lyle, how you doing, man?
Hey.
Place looks great.
Yeah, well, thanks. Hired a decorator to help me with the furniture. I'm telling you, Greg, I'm gonna make a fortune. You mark my words. And just closed my first deal. Cody's Cafe is now officially mine.
Well, congratulations, my friend.
Thanks.
So, how much did you end up paying?
550 grand. I really won down in negotiations. What?
What do you got fleeced? You see, the word around the village is that it was on the market a while back for $200,000.
Townies. What the hell do they know?
I don't know, it's just a rumor, that's all.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations on the restaurant deal. Uncle Carlos just called me.
Yeah, well, soon the money will be pouring in. So tell me, what's happening with that concert promoter?
It looks like he split town.
Eric, you gave him 40 grand to book a show at the Palladium.
It's no big deal. I made a mistake. It's not the end of the world.
No. No, it was a colossal mistake. Now, you listen to me. You better think twice before you spend your money like that, because it's not gonna last forever.
That's not fair. You spent a fortune on that little chicken wing place. I only spent 40 grand.
No, you didn't spend 40 grand, little brother. You lost 40 grand. I gotta go.
He's on the phone right now. I'll be with you in a minute. What can I do for you guys?
We're doing a story on the Menendez case.
We just got back from Princeton, where we met with one of Lyle's buddies.
He told us Lyle had to suddenly fly back to L.A. a couple of weeks ago because there was a problem with their dad's will on the computer.
Can you confirm this?
I don't know anything about our new will. We're planning on selling the computer, and Lyle just wanted to make sure the hard disk was clean. He was just trying to protect the family.
You're not getting along, are you?
Well, Lyle's spending way too much money, and he's trying to spend mine, too. He's being just like father.
If there's something you want to tell us, now might be the time. Remember those two reporters from the Times? We got word that they're writing an article suggesting that you boys, Lyle in particular, are suspects.
Do you think Lyle was involved in the murders?
Did he hire somebody?
No, of course not. Listen, I really gotta get going. We'll try to be more cooperative in the future. I'll talk to Lyle. You have my word on it. One of the guards will show you out. Greg, where's Lyle? I need him now. No, it can't wait. Lyle, the police think we did it. Yeah. glad you're here.
Don't worry, little brother. Huh? You losing weight?
I've been working out pretty hard.
Eric, you gotta relax. Just be normal. Look, I'm gonna be meeting a bunch of friends up at the Chesapeake Fishery. Why don't you join us? You look like you could use a good meal.
I got an appointment with Dr. Oziel.
Eric, Mom and Dad are gone. You don't need to see that shrink anymore.
It's not that simple.
Is there something you want to talk to me about?
I'm fine. You go ahead. I find myself relying more and more on Lyle. I don't like that. Maybe I need to be on medication.
Well, we can certainly look into that. Tell me, have you been sleeping any better?
I'm still having the same dreams. I just keep seeing my parents' faces all bloody and bulging and...
Take a breath, Eric.
Can we just go for a walk or something? I need to tell you something, but not in here.
Are you going to tell me what's wrong?
We did it.
Do you mean you killed your parents?
Yes.
I think we should continue this inside.
A few days later, we went down to San Diego and bought guns with an ID that Lyle had taken from a buddy of his at Princeton. We went in the family room. They were sitting there on the sofa, and we surprised them. We started shooting at Father. Mom fell to the ground. She didn't die with the first shots. She was laying there moaning, trying to crawl, trying to move. We went outside, and we reloaded Lyle's shotgun. We went back inside, and Lyle finished her off.
Does Lyle know you're telling me this?
I'm afraid he'll kill me.
I think it's important that he knows. Can I have permission to call him?
Honey, you ready to go? You're not gonna hold our res-
I need your help. Erik Menendez is in my office. He just confessed to killing his parents. Lyle is on his way over. I want you to sit out here and pretend to be a patient. I'll leave the door cracked. If you hear anything and any trouble, you call the police.
Jerry.
I need to see Lyle's face when Erik tells him that he confessed, that I can understand what's going on. I don't know how he'll react. He could be a danger to Erik or myself. I'm going to ask them to let me tape their session. Here, sit. I have to get back inside.
Just be careful.
Have you been waiting long?
You know how doctors are.
Lyle, we're ready for you?
Damn it. What kind of brother are you?
Well, just listen.
This isn't a perfect murder anymore, Eric. How do we know that this shrink isn't going to tip off the police or the newspapers? There's no way for me to be safe now that he has this information.
What happens in these sessions is...
I don't want anybody looking over my shoulder. That's why I killed my parents to begin with.
Look, if you boys are ever brought to trial, I might be able to piece together the events in your family constellation that led to such a situation occurring.
You mean like the hatred, physical abuse?
Exactly. See, the more you share with me, the more I'll be able to help you. Now, Erik says he feels guilty about inheriting millions of dollars of your parents' money. What about you?
You didn't do this for the money. There's a good chance my father had already disinherited us.
Why did you do it?
Because he always made us feel so inferior. There was nothing we could ever do to live up to his expectations. Except maybe this. Dad would have been proud of the job we did killing him.
Do you ever think about him?
Yeah, sure. You miss not having these people around. Miss not having my dog around. We can use such a gross analogy.
God, Lyle.
Erik? This is a waste of time. Let's go.
Look, I'm not comfortable leaving the situation the way it is.
Quite frankly, that's your problem.
Lyle, maybe he's right.
Shut up! Shut up! I'm handling things. Do you understand?
Stop telling me what to do.
Erik! My brother needs me.
I want you both to come back and finish the session.
Aren't you frightened?
I don't choose to live in fear, Lyle.
Neither did my father. Good luck, Dr. Oziel.
Judlin, I can't see you tonight. I have to call my wife. The Menendez brothers know where we live.
Jerry, we have to go to the police.
The boys are my clients. What they told me is confidential.
How can you call it confidential?
I
Lyle just
don't know what to
threatened
do. I don't know what to do.
God, Lyle, you just made it worse.
Just giving him what he wanted, Erik. I was pulling his chain in there. He just didn't know it. It'll keep him quiet until we can figure out what to do.
What do you mean?
I don't trust him. He even billed us for attending Mom and Dad's memorial service in L.A., for God's sakes. All right. You can get out of town. You know, play those tournaments overseas and get some rest. You need it. I'm gonna go back east. We'll buy ourselves some time, and you don't talk to anybody. You take your remorse and you swallow it. Come on.
Okay, I understand. I'm going to take care of it personally. All right. Les, the DA's office is on line 1.
Yeah. Look, tell Miss Bazanich I have nothing new on the Menendez case, and if she wants to call and personally embarrass me, I'll be here all afternoon.
Detective Sauer?
Yeah, how can I help you?
I'm, Judlin Smith, friend of Jerry Oziel.
Oh, the therapist for the Menendez brothers.
Yeah. I've had something on my mind for a long time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I overheard an argument in Jerry's office. It was a shouting match between Lyle and Erik. Jerry was so frightened by what he'd heard that he bought a gun to protect himself. Erik confessed everything about the killings, and Jerry has it all on tape.
Put your hands on your head! Lyle, on the ground, right here, face down! Get down!
You are under arrest. You've got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Hey, Uncle Carlos. The tournament's going great. I'm in second place. What? Can you speak up a little? I'm having trouble hearing you. They have the tapes of our sessions? When did they arrest him?
Beijing, Captain Harold McCarty, Pan American Flight Operations. Captain Harold McCarty, Pan American Flight Operations,
Hello, Erik. Have your bag?
You don't have to handcuff.
I'm sorry, Erik. It's a procedure.
This arraignment hearing is now in order. Will the defendants please rise? Erik and Lyle Menendez, you have been charged with conspiracy and murder in the first degree with special circumstances, multiple murder, and lying in wait. Do you understand that a conviction of these charges can lead to the death penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that we have two juries in this case, since some of the evidence will pertain only to one defendant or the other. We will now hear opening statements from the prosecution. Ms. Bozanich?
During the next month, we will prove to you that Lyle Menendez planned this murder with his brother Erik, provided false identification for the purpose of buying 2 shotguns, set up an alibi, and then set off to spend the money that they had acquired through the killings of their parents. And that, but for a few mistakes that the Menendez brothers made, this was almost a perfect murder.
Ms. Lansing?
The prosecution has suggested to you that my client, Lyle Menendez, killed his parents for money to commit the perfect crime. That possibly it was done out of hatred. What we will prove to you is that it was done out of fear. This trial will take you behind the facade of the rich houses and the fancy cars. It will take you to the life that was experienced by Lyle and his brother as they grew up.
For 12 years, between the ages of 6 and 18, my client, Erik Menendez, was sexually molested by his father. It started out as inappropriate touching and escalated in a carefully calculated pattern of grooming the child to satisfy his father's lust. This pattern included repeated acts of forcible oral copulation, sodomy, and rape. And it was part of a more pervasive characteristic of Jose Menendez: his absolute need to control and manipulate the people around him. Erik had vivid examples of his father's potential lethality towards him. This was, after all, a man who used a variety of objects to torture the young boy. Needles, tacks, wooden implements, knotted ropes. These episodes are what Erik called the dark days. You will have to ask yourself the question, why did Kitty Menendez never enter her son's room when Jose was alone with him? What kind of mother was she? She and Jose had stopped Erik many times when he tried to run away. They said that they would always find him, that there was no escaping them, and that he could never survive on his own. Erik soon realized that there were no adults who would rescue him. So he turned to his big brother for help. On Sunday, August 20th, 1989, it appeared to Erik that the trap was sprung. By words and deeds, he perceived that his father and mother were about to kill him, and he reacted with pure terror, pure panic. He fired every round in his gun, believing them incapable of dying. Because Erik's parents were wealthy, the prosecution tells you he did it for money. What do they say when poor kids kill?
When did you first meet Erik, Mr. Signorelli?
Junior year in high school, 1987. He was still a sophomore. They had just moved here. We were on the tennis team together, so we became buddies almost instantly.
What sorts of activities did you do with Erik, besides the actual tennis practices?
We'd go up into the hills and talk about our dreams for the future.
The perfect moment.
A hot, dry Santa Ana. With the wind blowing in my hair. 4,000 feet up away from everything. Yeah. The perfect woman.
Blonde. Blue eyes. Preppy clothes. Athletic. Soft skin. The perfect crime.
A robbery.
No. A murder.
So convoluted, no one would understand it.
It doesn't even matter if they get caught. It's just gotta be done with style and flair. A statement so bold, everyone will notice. We are trouble, brother. Trust me.
After the awful night of August 20th, 1989, was there ever any talk of the killings?
Yes. We were at the house, and we were walking towards the family room, and Erik just turned to me, and he said,
"Do you want to know how it happened?"
"Sure."
We were coming home from a movie to get my fake ID so we could meet Perry at the bars.
Mm-hmm.
When I came in, Lyle was standing there with 2 shotguns, and he said, "Let's do it." The doors to the family room were slightly ajar. I looked inside and I saw my parents sitting on the couch. Lyle swung open the doors and shot Dad. Then he said, "Shoot Mom." So I shot her as she stood up and started yelling. You know, all great leaders had no parents.
What do you mean?
Hitler, Alexander the Great. Not that they had no parents, but they had either died or the kids had to make it on their own. You want to play chess or something?
You became angry with the Beverly Hills detectives when they told your mother you were a suspect. And in response, you sent them a fax. Exhibit 48. But instead of signing with your real name, you used a fictional character.
Hamilton Cromwell. He's a lead character in a screenplay that Erik and I wrote together.
When our fathers start shopping the screenplay around town, at the very least, we're gonna get some option money.
You think it's too early to put money down on a Benz?
Okay. All right. Hamilton Cromwell is 18 years of age with neatly styled dark hair. He gives the aura of a mentally disturbed person, yet very intelligent. Scene 1, the foyer of the Cromwell family mansion.
To my beloved son, Hamilton, I bestow the Cromwell estate and all the money in my Swiss account, $157 million.
He's insanely psychotic and anxious to obtain his inheritance, a character worthy of Jekyll and Hyde.
Hamilton?
Good evening, Father.
Honey, is that you? I heard a noise and then the power went out.
There's been a blackout. Where are you, my love? I can't see you.
My father told me I was not worthy to be his son. It only made me strive harder so that I could hear him say, I love you. Nothing I ever did was ever good enough. And I never heard those words. You'll survive, my friend. A warrior who's lost his parents, still a warrior.
Move to strike. May we approach?
We feel the screenplay as evidence that the killings had been on Erik's mind for many months. It gives a mental blueprint.
It's a convoluted, amateurish document written by two adolescent boys.
No, the screenplay may not be introduced into evidence. Prosecution will proceed.
Did Erik ever tell you that he acted in self-defense?
No.
Objection.
Overruled.
Did Erik ever tell you that he was being abused by his parents?
No.
Nothing further.
Did you ever observe Erik's father emotional or screaming at him during the tennis tournaments you both played in?
He'd say things like, you need to do better. He would just criticize him and push him, like most parents.
Most parents criticize their kids in front of other people?
In Beverly Hills? Yes.
Tough parents in Beverly Hills.
Toss it higher, Erik. Follow through. Follow through.
He's really been working on his serve, Mr. Menendez.
Obviously not hard enough, Craig. No, hit it on the rise. On the rise!
Dad, give him a break.
Your brother works better under pressure, Lyle. He's not a natural-born athlete like you. Watch your footing! Watch your footing! Damn it!
It wasn't the finals, Erik. Don't take it so hard.
I don't know, my timing was off.
I was not brought onto this world to defeat. Failure does not course through my veins. I will not listen to those who complain, for their disease is contagious.
Dad, can we do this at home?
Why? Everybody else saw you make a damn fool of yourself. What's the big secret?
Would you just shut up?
You in the limo. You stay here. A loser doesn't deserve to ride in my car. Don't ever talk like that to me again. Let's go.
Mr. Wright, in December of 1988, you spent Christmas break with the Menendez family. Did Lyle tell you much about them? What to expect?
He tried, but nothing could have prepared me for what happened that night.
What were you telling me about that coach, your tennis coach, Bradley? What happened to him last semester? I don't understand. He was fired, or... I mean, you guys did very well, I think,
Thanks.
don't you?
Well, yeah.
Here comes Dad.
Dad, this is Danny Wright, a friend from my dorm.
right? Your father's a VP at Panasonic. I think we've met.
My old man's an auto mechanic in Cleveland. The closest he's gotten to Panasonic was installing a car radio.
The boys have probably told you we have a tradition at this house. It's been going on for years.
Do we have to do this with guests?
We like to talk about current events, politics, even history over dinner. Nothing heavy, just stimulating conversation.
It's something that Jose's parents did in Cuba.
My father, he hated idle time. Every minute of every day was important.
Well, his father was a star soccer player. His mother was a championship swimmer. Mm. Oh. All right. We've got all the trophies. I'll show you later.
Let's see, what will tonight's topic be? The Watergate break-in.
I thought we were still doing the Civil War.
You thought wrong. Lyle, who was the Secretary of Commerce during the Nixon administration?
Maurice Stans. He was the chief of the re-election campaign.
Was he convicted?
Pleaded guilty and was fined $5,000.
Danny, who were the plumbers?
The bad guys.
Be more specific.
Gee, Mr. Menendez, I don't know. I'm a fine arts major.
What do they teach you boys at Princeton?
Dad, come on, lighten up. The plumbers were a special investigations group.
Eric, who was John Mitchell?
The special prosecutor?
Don't disappoint me, son.
Maybe the boys have had enough.
He can fend for himself, damn it!
I don't want to do this anymore.
Go to your room and look up the answer. It will cost you $10 for every 2 minutes.
Eric.
Ask him about Martha Mitchell. He'll probably remember her. Now, she knew where all the bodies were buried. That's why they kept her drugged in her hotel room. She was the truth teller.
If you don't mind, Kitty, it's between the boys and me, and we could use some more potatoes out here. Thank you. Here's an easy one for you, Danny. What happened to the president as a result of Watergate?
He lost his job.
We all know that. Why?
The political fallout?
He lost his job because the men working for him got caught.
Would you like a hand? I've been banished to the kitchen with the women folk.
Certainly where we belong. You didn't tell me we had plans.
Someone at the office is throwing a party.
I don't have time to get ready, Jose. I spent the whole day making dinner for Lyle's friend. My hair is a mess. I don't have anything to wear.
I'm going by myself.
obviously your girlfriend, aren't you?
Oh, please, don't start this.
I know about Margaret. I know that she's pretty. She's young. I've driven past her house, Jose. I've seen her go to work in the morning. I've seen her with her little tailored business suits and her briefcase.
Will you please stop this?
I've seen you with her, Jose.
You go on and on about other women. What about you, Kitty? You used to spend hours on yourself. We would go to a party and you'd be the only woman they'd talk about. Look at you now. Half the time you walk around this house in a fog. You don't know whether it's night or day. You don't care about yourself. You don't care about me or the boys anymore. And that is the greatest sin of all. Because they will be the ones who will suffer if we fail them as parents.
You weren't kidding about your old man.
I spent all that time coaching you in the Civil War.
He changed the topics just to screw with your head.
It's no big deal.
It is a big deal. You're my friend, Danny. You don't deserve to be treated that way.
Now I know why we never had friends over when we were kids.
What do they teach you, boys in prison?
He's coming. I don't understand what the big deal is. Political scandals are a dime a dozen in Washington.
Watergate was a major news event. They almost started impeachment proceeding.
Watergate was different, Eric, because it wasn't about greed. It was about power. Pure, unadulterated power. The kind of Machiavellian excess one doesn't expect to find in democracy. Lyle, can I see you privately? I advise you to find another friend. He's weak. You don't want to be around that. He'll only drag you down.
Why do you have to be so rough on him?
Because I know what it takes to inspire greatness, and that boy does not have a clue but you do.
I can't listen to this.
Lyle, come back. Lyle and I were just debating the source of greatness. What do you think, Danny? Is it a learned behavior, or is it passed down from generation to generation?
Well, considering the amount of money my parents are paying in tuition, I hope it's something you can learn.
I was 16 when I came to this country, without a penny, not speaking a word of English. I not only lost my family's wealth, but the respect and status we had in Cuba. In America, I was worse than a nobody. A wetback. Imagine someone calling me a wetback. So I got a job washing other people's dishes to put myself through college. Now, when I walk into a restaurant now, someone washes my dishes. And if I glimpse in the kitchen the face of a young man struggling over a tub of scalding water, I look for the spark in his eyes. And I hope for his future, as I did for mine. But I almost always see nothing but failure. Failure and mediocrity, it's all around us. It poisons the ground we walk on. And I will not have it in this house! You boys have been given so much. Maybe that's why I'm so hard on you. But I know the depth of the human spirit, of talent and hard work. And you two boys are capable of great things. Incredible things. Far grander than anything I've ever dreamt of. Do you boys agree?
Yes, Father.
Have a good evening.
It's a real trip.
That may be true. but think about what he has to say. Here, Danny, take my car. Spend the night at Craig's. I'm sure you've had enough of the Menendez family for one night. I need some downtime.
I'm a little bit worried about Mom. When I knocked on her door, she wouldn't answer, but her TV's on.
Probably drank herself to sleep.
Come on, why do you always have to be so cynical?
Because Dad taught me to be the pragmatist in the family. You're the poet, I'm the pragmatist. All right, come on. Oh, man, sometimes I wonder who the real parents are around here.
Mom! Mom! Come on, Mom. I'm not gonna leave you.
Oh, no. No, I can't deal with this.
What do you mean you can't deal with this? Call Dad!
I don't know where he went.
He's in the car, just call him. Come on, Mom. It's gonna be okay, Mom. Are you feeling any better?
Wasn't always like this, you know.
I know, Mom.
I remember in college, my friends would say, "Oh, what a waste. Kitty's a real catch. How's that Cuban ever gonna make her happy?" He was my hero. He made me feel so special. I knew he was going somewhere. He promised to take me with him.
She'll sleep it off. Did you find Dad?
No, I even called this office. But I did find this in the kitchen. I think she wanted us to find it.
Dear Jose, for 24 years I lived a dream. In the end, I only wanted to be as much of a friend as Margaret. I take with me the spirit of love that I hold dearest, that of my children and you. Love, Kitty. Margaret, what?
Well, don't tell me you didn't know. Why do you think she was so miserable?
What are you boys doing up?
Where the hell have you been?
Excuse me?
Mom's had a rough night. She took a bunch of pills.
Did you call a doctor?
She didn't want me to. She's okay. She's sleeping. I took care of everything. When I was little, I didn't think my father liked me very much. So I was happy when he offered me massages.
What kind of massages? What kind of massages, Erik?
He started playing with me, molesting me. There were 4 kinds of sex. Knees, nice sex, rough sex, and just sex.
What was rough sex?
When I was 13, he started using needles, pins, rope. He would stick tacks into my butt and thighs.
Did you ever try to stop him?
Once, when I was 17. Dad, I can't.
It's all right to be scared, son. I do this to make you stronger.
No.
All through history, men have done this together before going into battle. It made the Greek and Roman soldiers powerful warriors, invincible.
I said no!
No, Eric! Please, don't. I don't want to hurt you. Now get back on the bed.
And he raped me.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Did you bleed?
Yes.
Did your father force you to perform oral sex on him?
He, grabbed me by my hair and held my head. I started putting cinnamon in his tea. I heard about it from some kids at school.
What was the purpose of putting cinnamon in your father's tea, Eric?
I heard it makes it taste better.
No further questions. Did anyone ever see your father sexually abusing you, Eric?
No, he was very careful.
Did you ever receive any medical treatment as a result of your father's torture?
No.
And you never told anyone of your experiences? A teacher? A tennis coach? Surely your therapist.
I was too ashamed.
Okay, let's move on to something else. At the summer of '89, were you looking forward to attending UCLA?
Getting away was the most important thing in my life. Until my father told me he expected me to stay home 3 or 4 nights a week, not in the dorm.
And you took this to mean what?
That the sex was going to continue. I was devastated. I thought about killing myself. There was no escaping him.
Yet we heard testimony from your friend Ed Fenno saying that you turned down an opportunity to attend UC Berkeley, which really disappointed your father.
I wanted to attend UCLA because they had a better tennis program.
So instead of attending a school 400 miles away from home, 400 miles away from the man who was abusing you, you chose to go to a school just around the corner? I guess geography isn't your strong suit. Objection.
Sustained.
I'd like to reconstruct the last 5 days before the killings, starting with Tuesday. You and your brother claim that during this period, your lives were in imminent danger.
We thought our parents were going to kill us at any moment.
What made you believe that?
My mother had already threatened to poison the family. She was taking 13 pills a day, sedatives and all. My dad was having these explosive rages.
But what happened specifically that Tuesday night?
My mom was acting kind of strange. Her father was sick in Canada, and she was supposed to go up and visit him.
So your father tells me cancel my trip, because he can't get away from the office. My father may not live another week.
Well, then why don't you just go yourself? What's the big deal?
Right. Right. And leave him alone with Margaret and crazy. It's the boys and their tennis. It's your father and his business meetings. What about me? My father is dying and nobody gives a damn.
Oh, Mom, would you stop it? We care.
The fraud. Look at it. Your brother can't even keep a girlfriend. Your father keeps a couple on the side. Look at you. You couldn't even last one semester through Princeton before they threw you out on your sorry ass. Oh, this family is a bunch of losers. Losers with money. That's the worst kind.
I'm not gonna listen to this.
Don't you walk out on me. Ah! You don't need this damn hairpiece. What do you think? It's gonna help you with your career in politics?
I said, give it back. I want it back.
Your father's pipe dreams.
Give it back to me.
Give it back to me.
Lyle, it's me. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, okay. Just give me a second, all right?
I didn't know you were a hairpiece, Lyle. I'm sorry. You don't have to be embarrassed. I guess we all have our secrets in this family.
I've been losing my hair since I was 14, Eric. Dad thought I should do something about it. Hey, come on. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
You're the only one I can trust.
What are you talking about? What is it?
Those things with Dad are still going on.
What things?
You know what things. God.
Why didn't you say something, Eric? Answer me! I thought that he had stopped a long time ago.
He's been coming into my room 2 or 3 times a week.
We gotta do something, Eric.
Can't. It's hopeless, Lyle.
I'm not gonna let you down, little brother.
And he didn't, did he?
My brother's never let me down.
After you confided to your brother about the sexual abuse, you waited 2 days for your father to return home from a business trip. Now, did it ever occur to you to talk to your mother, to Uncle Carlos, to seek outside help, even a friend?
I was frightened, ashamed.
But not ashamed enough to encourage your brother to confront your father and make things worse.
Objection!
Sustained.
Okay. Let's move on to what you remember about Thursday night. Your father returned home.
Don't you see what you're doing to him?
What I do with my son is none of your business.
He's suicidal half the time, and it's your fault.
Don't throw your life away, Lyle. Stay out of it.
No. There are gonna be some changes around here, Dad.
What's going to happen around here is you are going back to Princeton, and your brother's going to UCLA as planned, and you are going to forget we ever had this conversation.
If you don't keep your hands off of him, I'm gonna tell everybody.
We all make choices in life, son. Eric made his. Now you have made yours.
It's Thursday night before the killings. Your brother has just confronted your father about the sexual abuse. Now, what exactly were you doing at this time?
I was upset. I couldn't sit still, so I went into the family room and I found my mother watching TV. Did you know?
What was known? I think I'm stupid.
Why didn't you do something?
No one ever helped me in my life.
Mom?
But the reruns.
Tell me, Eric. What were you thinking? Why did you have to say anything to your brother? This was between you and me. We had an agreement.
An agreement?
Yes, an agreement! You ungrateful bastard! Lyle thinks he's going to ruin me, but I'm not going to let that happen. Do you understand?
He's gonna kill us both. He just told me.
Relax.
He said you threatened him.
Settle down.
What are we gonna do, Lyle?
Just settle down.
We gotta call the cops, man.
Listen, Dad's very rich with a lot of power. Cops aren't gonna believe us. Here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna stay put until we figure out a way to defend ourselves, okay?
So we decided to buy guns. First thing Friday morning, we went to Big Five in Santa Monica to get guns to protect ourselves.
And did you purchase the guns there?
No. The salesman told us that there was a 2-week waiting period. We couldn't wait that long. We might be dead by then. So we headed down to San Diego and bought the 2 shotguns there.
So this was not a spontaneous decision. This was something you and your brother thought about.
We were both afraid.
But you had the presence of mind to drive all the way down to San Diego and use false identification.
Objection.
Sustained.
Even though you've lied in the past about the 911 call, about the mob trying to kill your parents, everything you're telling us now is the truth. Is that correct?
I'm telling the truth as best I can.
About the guns, about the trip to Big Five, about going down to San Diego.
Yes?
About the sexual abuse.
It's correct. That's all true.
Because the only people who can confirm these stories are dead.
I understand that, Mr. Kuriyama.
You're not lying or inventing facts or motivations to convince the jury of your innocence.
I am not.
Did you truly go to the Santa Monica Big Five on the morning of August 18th, 1989 to buy handguns?
Definitely. Without a doubt, I did.
Mr. Menendez, did you know that Big Five stopped carrying handguns in March of 1986?
Jamie, how long did you know the Menendez brothers before the killings?
About 3 years. I was engaged to Lyle.
So you were well versed in their uncanny ability to fabricate convincing stories.
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you ever visit Lyle in jail?
Many times.
And during one of those visits, he asked you about a movie.
At close range, you know, with Sean Penn. I want you to rent it.
I don't understand.
Well, there's a scene where one of the characters assaults his son's girlfriend. I was thinking, what if you were to say that my father did the same thing to you?
Lyle.
Just tell the attorneys he made a pass at you. What's the big deal? I'd see to it that a large sum of money was placed in your savings account.
You're kidding, right? Your father never laid a hand on me.
Jamie, this is a matter of life and death.
Was any money placed in your account?
No, Lyle never brought it up again.
I want to jump back a couple of years to a conversation you had with Erik.
Hey, looking good.
Hey, Jamie, how's it going?
Okay, I'm just waiting for Lyle. We're supposed to go see Phantom, that is, if I can tear him away from that mirror. He's worse than some of my girlfriends.
Oh, you know, it's that crazy wig of his. He spends hours trying to get it straight. I actually feel sorry for him. It's gotta be a drag.
Men. Isn't that your #1 fear, baldness? For us, it's hips and thighs.
It is amazing how great his hair always looks.
Yeah, well, it should. It cost about $4,000.
Really? How do you know?
Remember right before he started at Princeton when he came to visit me at Birmingham? He wanted to look his best for school, so I went wig shopping with him.
All right, what's going on here, huh? What are you two talking about?
Erik Menendez has testified that learning about his brother's hairpiece days before the shooting is what shocked him into confessing his molestation. Jamie, Are you certain that he knew about the wig sooner?
Months before. As far back as February or March.
These photographs show you and your brother naked, your heads cropped off. Who took these pictures, Lyle?
My father. When we were showering or changing clothes, I don't remember.
At what ages did your father molest you?
Between 6 and 8. It started after sports practices. He massaged me. Then when I was 7, the routine changed. He put me on my knees and guide me in all my movements. Eventually he began using a toothbrush on me. He said, I don't mean to hurt you. I love you. He said bad things would happen to me if I ever told anyone. Sometimes I took Eric out in the woods and I played with him the way Dad played with me. I didn't know any better. I'm sorry, Eric.
Where was your mother during all this?
It was always a good question.
Why was she so negligent?
She said that I ruined her life when I was born. That she could have been an actress. Sometimes I really think she hated me.
Nothing further.
Since we're on the subject of your mother and the nature of your relationship with her, I have a question. Here we go. The night of the murders, you and your brother claim that you argued with your parents, then burst into the family room and started firing. When you put the shotgun to your father's head, where was your mother?
In my mind, she was sneaking around the side of the coffee table.
Sneaking? Like she was going to do something sneaky?
That's what I remember.
She wasn't trying to sneak anywhere, Lyle. She was trying to escape. Isn't that true?
Objection.
Sustained.
When you put the muzzle of the shotgun against your mother's cheek and felt her flesh move, did you love her then?
Yes.
Let's go back to the 48 hours before the shootings. Friday, you bought the shotguns. What happened on Saturday?
We got up early and we left the house. We didn't know what Mom and Dad had planned. We were hoping to miss a fishing trip that they'd arranged.
What time did you return home?
Around 4 that afternoon. But the fishing trip had been changed, so we were stuck going. We were wondering if the whole thing was a setup. That they were going to try to kill us on the boat.
Doesn't it seem unlikely that your father, an ordinary man, would kill you with witnesses aboard?
We didn't know what to think.
Let me see if I have this right. You and your brother lived in constant fear the entire day?
Yes. From the moment we woke up that Saturday morning till we tried to go to sleep that night, we knew we were running out of time.
Mr. Walker, what were you doing at the Menendez mansion on Saturday, August 19th, the day before the killings?
I was there to clean the pool.
I would like to remind the juries that both Eric and Lyle have testified that they were away from the house that entire Saturday, fearing for their lives, and that they did not return home until 4 o'clock. What time did you arrive at the mansion, Mr. Walker?
At 2.
Would you please describe what you saw?
Eric,
you guys said one more set. Now look, you boys have got to clean up so we can leave for the marina.
I don't want to go fishing. It'll be cold out there.
Now look, I've gone through a lot of trouble to arrange this charter. This is a family outing, and we are going as a family.
What's wrong with you two?
The only reason you're dragging us out there is because you told one of your business associates that you were a deep-sea fisherman.
It's enough.
And now you got to learn how to do it.
In the house. Now.
Shut up. Just shut up. Nobody tells us what to do. Nobody.
You will recall that Mr. Walker testified that Lyle and Erik were not afraid. They were angry. They stood up to their parents, as opposed to being paralyzed with fear. Lyle and Erik Menendez are actors on a par with Laurence Olivier, and liars worthy of Adolf Hitler. Their tearful tales of sexual molestation are not real. They're cleverly plotted fabrications.
We are not saying that Lyle acted reasonably. He read the cues, and he read them wrong.
Put yourself in Erik's shoes. Feel the fear he felt. When he couldn't take it anymore, he went to his equally troubled brother for help. And this is what happened.
Let's do it.
What are you working on?
Erik's UCLA application.
In the trial of People versus Erik Menendez, we deeply regret to inform the court that we cannot reach a unanimous decision on any of the counts. Positions have not changed after 3 weeks of deliberations.
Mom's not dead. I need more ammunition.
There is no reasonable probability of our reaching a verdict without violence to our individual judgments. I find the jury to be hopelessly deadlocked, and I declare a mistrial in this matter. In the trial of People versus Lyle Menendez, we deeply regret to inform the court that we cannot reach a decision on any of the counts. I find the jury to be hopelessly deadlocked, and I declare a mistrial in this matter. The jury is discharged from further participation in this case.
Mr. Kuriama, what happens next?
As the district attorney has said, we have an ethical, professional, and moral responsibility to retry this case. Be damned with how much it's going to cost. We're going to seek justice.
I don't think that anybody at the beginning of this trial believed that these two young men were abused or could have been motivated by fear. But now, obviously, a great number of people understand the situation.
I think society is the loser in this case. It appears now that vigilantism is not against the law, and that's a terrifying thought.
I do not believe any jury will ever convict Erik Menendez of first-degree murder.